Imagine living in a time when your fridge was a big block of ice and small elevators moved dinner from floor to floor. Today we'll take a look at 10 old home features that have faded into history. Icebox. Before the invention of electric refrigerators, iceboxes were a common household appliance used to keep food cold. An icebox, also known as a cold closet, was a non-mechanical refrigerator that became popular in the early 20th century. It worked by placing a large block of ice in a compartment at the top, and the cold air from the ice would circulate down to keep the food in the lower compartments cool. These iceboxes were made with hollow walls lined with materials like tin or zinc, and packed with insulating materials such as cork, sawdust, or straw. People had to regularly replace the melted ice, usually by buying new ice from an iceman. The design of the icebox allowed for longer storage of perishable foods without the need for other preservation methods like smoking or drying. Transom windows. Transom windows are small windows you find above doors in many older buildings. They were really popular before air conditioning and heating systems became common. These windows could open to let fresh air in and help with ventilation while still keeping the room secure. Being high up, they also let in more light without compromising privacy. To open these windows, people used special tools called transom operators. These windows are not just functional, but also add a unique architectural detail to buildings. Parlor. In the 18th and 19th centuries, having a parlor in your home was a sign of social status. The parlor was where families would meet guests and show off their best furniture and art. It was often called the best room in the house because of how nicely it was decorated. This room was used for important family events like weddings, births, and funerals. The room was often kept closed when not in use to keep it clean and ready for visitors. Parlors had comfortable chairs, a sofa, and sometimes a piano for music. Over time, as homes changed and got TVs and other entertainment, the parlor became less common and turned into what we now call the living room. Servant quarters. Servants' quarters were special areas in large houses where the staff lived and worked. These quarters were common from the late 17th century to the early 20th century. They were usually located in the basements and attics of smaller houses, and in larger houses, they were in a separate wing or block. The idea was to keep the servants close to where they were needed, but also out of sight from the main areas of the house. Servants' quarters are important because they tell us a lot about how people lived in the past. They show the differences between the rich and their servants and how this changed over time. If you enjoyed this American Rewind video, go ahead and watch the next one. And remember to like and subscribe. It really helps a small channel.